Okay guys, I've seriously gotten sick of this, and it's about time I set the record straight on this. If you don't want to watch the entire video, and just want a too long didn't watch explanation of this, here it goes. There is no SML review community. At all. Now if you want my explanation as to why this is the case, keep watching. So let me start off by talking about the origin of this whole term. This all started during, if I remember correctly, the very first Yoshi Player drama, where Yoshi Player used the term as a generalizing term for myself, my fans, and anybody else who agreed with me on my side of the argument. And fast forward to now, and the term is still in use, and I've gotten sick of it. The term is stuck because, for some reason, people think there's an actual community. Why? Because other people use the term because they think they are in fact part of a non-existent community. I've rolled my eyes whenever people mention it, but now I've just gotten sick of it. A lot of people unfamiliar with this believe that by reviewing SML or managing to join the supposed SML reviewing community, get you special perks like being able to talk to myself, Rev, or even Logan. Well, let me dispel this myth right now. That is not how it works. So why do people such as Spunk, Iggy, Josh, Clevex, Cheese, etc. get to talk to people like Rev and I, and in some cases even Logan? It's quite simple, really. They are friends of mine. Now before you think, oh, I just have to become your Rev's friend or something, that's simple enough, right? Well, no. The repeated attempts of people trying to become supposed friends with us has led people like myself and Rev to be much more hesitant in adding or allowing new people to talk to us. I've had my fair share of encounters with people who say, oh hey, you're dabhdude, right? You know Logan, right? Oh, well, can I talk to him? Well, can I have his Skype and blah 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 blah. At which point I usually cut off contact with them. Something else that happens often is someone who is just a bit too much of a fan of mine or Rev's work, to a point where it honestly becomes kinda creepy. And I've heard it time and time again, well, I'm not like the others, and yet that's what all the others say. So basically, the whole friend group thing is pretty much closed at this point. There have been people over the past year or two who have joined for their own set of reasons. Rev was the first online friend I ever met, and back then we were very receptive and just wanted to work on SML reviews. And that's honestly about it, to be honest. We just became friends after that. Flamey joined Rev and I a few weeks after Rev and I met each other. Flamey was pretty cool, and since both Rev and I liked him, we continued hanging out with him after that. You can see where that got the three of us. Now for Spung, I met Spung quite honestly when I was desperate for someone to watch a TV show with. Rev happened to join the call part of the way through the live stream. I don't remember which live stream it was, so sorry. It might have been the Rick and Morty one actually. And Rev liked Spung, so he began hanging out with us. And then there's Iggy. To be quite honest, I don't remember much about how we met Iggy. All I know is that he seemed like a funny and cool guy with a cool but distinctive attitude to boot, so he started hanging out with us. And then the latest person would have to be probably Cheese. I remember meeting Cheese in the chat of Halo Stream 2016. It might have been earlier, but that's the earliest thing I remember of encountering her. Frankly, I didn't pay her much mind, but Spung certainly did though. To be honest, Spung initially, and even now sometimes, basically forced Cheese onto us. Not to say she's a bad person. She can be very likable, in fact. But that's how she joined us, by having Spung force her onto us. So, thanks Spung, I guess. Now what does all of this have to do with the SML reviewing community? Well, think about it. When you usually think of this supposed community, I'm sure many of you think about the people I just mentioned. Granted, there are others, but I'm sure those are the main people you think of. Now here's the problem with this. When someone out of these people, myself included, gets into some beef with someone, whether it be Yoshi Player, GameCube Dude, etc., many people just generalize it as a community-wide thing. I can actually think of no better example than the supposed drama that Josh and company tried to push on us near the end of 2016. It was listed as a community-wide issue, despite the fact that nothing had happened. Despite that, it got myself and many others involved simply for being part of a supposed community. So that all being said, I go back to my main point. There is no SML reviewing community. I feel both awful saying that, and also very happy and relieved. I'm upset because I swear I'm stomping on someone's dreams to be in a community. Despite that, I feel relieved because I'm also helping people realize that they can't join a community that simply doesn't exist and is barely even recognized by its supposed most senior members. So, I'm sorry. If you want to make SML reviews, go for it. Unless you're copying any of our reviewing styles, we can't and frankly won't stop you. If you want to talk to us, I'm sure you'll find a way. Maybe show a couple of your reviews to someone like me. I mean, that's how I met people like Avis and McMuffin, because they were cool, and they made good videos. Granted, please don't spam us with messages about your latest video. That isn't helping your chances at all. Well, glad I finally got that done. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. I'm glad this is done. And just because you now know that there is no community, doesn't mean you should just give up on what you were planning to do. Who knows, you may be lucky. And even if not, people will certainly like what you have to offer. I had just gotten sick of the broad overgeneralizations that the term SML Reviewing community brought along with it. Well, that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and take care.